Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
I'm Pammy.
And I'm Javi, and we're actually here at Flashback Arcades. There's a kick. It's also a retro game store, so we're about to check it out.
Flashback Games.
Yeah. So we're gonna give you a bit of a tour of the place. Check it out. Let's see how it looks inside.
Let's go!
Hey guys, so yeah, on this video we visited Flashback Games, which is an arcade, and they do have a small retro game store, kind of like mostly on the front of the store. That we've only been there once before, but we kind of thought it was a really cool place. And the retro game store is, honestly, from what I could tell, it's stocked very nicely. They don't have like super a lot of product, but they also have really great pricing. And the way that the arcade works is they charge $12.50.
$12.50 for the day, and you get a wristband. And then you can come in and out, you can play any game you want, and you're there for the day, which is really cool because a lot of places like that have like a 2-hour minimum, a 4-hour minimum, or like maximum. So like we've done a lot of these like kind of new retro arcades, and they were hands down the cheapest and had like the most like fair, like, hey, $12, it's all yours for the day, man. It was great.
Yeah. We thought it was a really cool business model that they were running.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. But yeah, so as you walk into the store, they already have a couple arcade games. They have that Terminator 2, which I love. I love Terminator on the arcade because to me, arcades are the cooler ones. Are always the ones that have like the zapper guns, the light guns, or whatever. Like if I'm gonna get an arcade, I'll probably get one of those, or maybe a racing one with like the chair.
Dude, you gotta get the racing on the chair.
That's right. Because I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like those are like cooler when it comes to having an arcade.
You know the ones that used to vibrate.
Yeah.
And like, or like the ski-doo ones. Like,
yeah. Yeah. And they also have this weird. You said it was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, they had like some weird thing at the front. Okay, I don't want to say weird. It was like a box that had like some Raiders of the Lost Ark stuff, and I was like clocking it because I love Indiana Jones, but my son ran for the door and I couldn't really figure out what happened.
Yeah, so I wouldn't know if it was like prices.
I don't know if anyone's ever been there.
Collectibles.
Could they tell us what it is?
Yeah. And by the way, this is in Marietta, Georgia. It's actually next to another antique mall. And then once you walk in, then you have kind of like the retro game store at the front. So, you'll see the first shelf, which had mostly disc-based games like PlayStation 1, PS3, and Wii games. All priced very fairly. Like it's a little bit not common to see stores that don't really account for condition and they just price at price charting, which I thought it was pretty good. It's pretty cool because they actually had really good games.
Well, it's kind of, I think a big part of that is because it's like not their main income. Like it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of stuff sits because most people are going in there to focus on the arcade aspect.
Yeah, and they did start it strictly just as an arcade. They added the retro game store after the fact, after a while. I'm assuming after retro games picked up, they saw an opportunity there. And they actually, like I said, they had really good games. Behind that one, they had the Sega Genesis / Super Nintendo cabinet with some loose games and some CIB Sega Genesis. You know, some stuff pretty good to see. And then on the window, part of it, like, you know, the wall that's mostly the window, they had a lot of collectible stuff, Funkos, some third-party retro game consoles like the Retrons and stuff. And they had this like funny what's it called, ET with like a Jurassic Park shirt, which I thought was really funny. Hey guys, jumping in here real quick to remind you that we have this giveaway going on Anchor. The link is in our profile. We'll also put it in the description so you can join the giveaway from the link. It is this Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door display poster, which display in GameStop. It's a 3-piece with these 2 long pieces. Make sure you go in, follow us, and enter the giveaway. I will give you also a sneak peek next week's giveaway, which will be the Black Ops big box display that we picked up a few weeks back. We'll give this away, and we'll be running even more sales over there on Anchor. Make sure to follow, enter the giveaways for free. Good luck. Make sure to bid on our items if you see anything that you like. But back to the, and then some like Deadpool masks and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. They had some toys, and then you would walk to the cabinet with the Nintendo 64 and the Switch games. Again, not a lot of product, but some really good games. You know, some Mario parties, you know, DK64 and stuff like that. So it's always good to see a store that even if they don't have like a lot of inventory, they have actually good inventory, which is the same thing with the next cabinet, which was like Game Boy DS and some CIB Super Nintendo, which actually had the game that we picked up, which you're not gonna see because we already had them save it for us at this point.
It's kind of like, another thing about it, the whole arcade, it's kind of like, you know, when you get off a ride and there's the gift shop. It felt like a gift shop to me. Like, it kind of gave that vibe. Like, all right, you played your games, now would you like to shop for some more to take home? Like, it was definitely like, it was a very like cool feel. I like that. In the perfect size. It didn't overwhelm, it didn't take away from the arcade, from the arcade or the gameplay. It was really nice.
But and then they below the register they have some like third-party controllers and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And then on the last cabinet for like the retro store, it was like the console cabinet, which was pretty cool because they had some, they had some consoles, nothing crazy, like one regular 64 and NES, silver GameCube, all basically price charting. The GameCube was like $90. I think the 64 was also like 90, so price is really, really on point, which is, again, it's really cool to see stores that are, sticking very, very realistically to price charting. And they did have some inbox, I don't know if they were CAB or not, but they had some inbox NES games at the bottom with, Mario 2 and Excitebike, stuff like that. Pretty cool titles, pretty decent titles. So again, I love the mix of the inventory. It wasn't overwhelming necessarily in all the cabinets, but at least they have some really cool titles.
It was clean.
Yeah, it was pretty clean. But let's talk about the arcade side, and talk about kind of like a few of the staples that we saw there. Obviously, there's gonna be at least one pinball machine on any arcade. You gotta love PnX pinball.
I love pinball, and I'm quite good at it.
PnX pinball. I mean, we just CIB Pokemon Pinball for her, which was her childhood pinball game. So yeah,
we went to, for one of our anniversaries, we went to like a pinball arcade.
In Chattanooga. PnX pinball. And then I love that they had TMNT 4 Turtles in Time arcade that you could play. They had also the Super Mario Brothers arcade, which is pretty cool. They had a CNNK. It looked like it was a multi-K for that one, but again, pretty cool. They had an X-Men one, which is always cool to see in an arcade. Again, with your staples like Donkey Kong, stuff like that. And you always want to see a couple racing ones too. And they had like one side with like a few racing ones, which is pretty cool. You want to see that. They had like an old hockey table.
You mean air hockey?
Yeah, not air hockey. It was just like the hockey thing. We had like the sticks and stuff.
You mean the thing, like the guys, like what Joey and Chandler had?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But hockey specifically was like, it wasn't.
I mean,
like
but I think it started with didn't football start as like a hockey thing, or just sort of soccer? Anyway, I don't remember.
Yeah. But yeah, so overall I think it's not like a super big place.
It's the right size though.
But I think it's the right size that you can go in there.
They've laid out the space super cool. It almost feels like a maze. Like, it's really cool they've laid it out. Like, they're not working with a ton of room, but it's really cool the layout.
Yeah.
And then they also the private party rooms. And those were fun. Yeah. And I think I'm going to host this guy's birthday there this year.
Yeah, they did have a party when we went to, so that's why we didn't like try to record too much. And now I always try to avoid recording.
It was a really busy day. It was hard. It was a little hard to record.
They also had this like on the back. They had this like cabinet with like, it looked like to me like maybe it wasn't stuff for sale. It looked like maybe it was just stuff to show. Like they had a Speed Racer car and like the TMNT VHSs that they were displaying. Again, I don't know what they were selling. I don't think I saw price tags on those.
Yeah, and then they had like a retro game lounge, so that was really cool. And our son was fresh to party in there. They had like an old like flat couch, like a big CRT TV, and I think they might have had some video games. So, and then like there was really cool art on all the walls, like you were saying.
Yeah, and they also had on that hallway. They had a bunch of toys in the card. Like,
and I don't know if you guys remember the old school like sticker machines where you put in like 2 quarters and then like you get like a big sticker that came out.
Oh, they had one of those.
They had some of those at the front. So cool. Yeah, Noah started playing with them, but I didn't have quarters.
That's very nice.
And it was like so I'm on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 6, 7 claustrophobic, and like even though this was a small space, I feel like very comfy in there. Like it felt like I could hang out in there even with so many people.
Yeah,
it was cool. And the staff was super friendly. We walk in and she's like, "Oh, have you been here before?" Like she couldn't have been nicer. So the staff was really cool to work with.
Pretty friendly staff. They held up the game for me, which is what we're gonna move into now. We're gonna show you guys this. And the game that I picked up, again, it was priced at price charting. It is one of my ultimate favorite games for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Me and my brother played it as kids when he came to visit to me this past October. I was playing with him as well, and I feel like it's a staple for the Super Nintendo, and now we have it complete in box. So this is an upgrade, but it is Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
They're coming to your neighborhood.
You're not the pizza guy.
Zombies ate my neighbors. Squirt gun. Save the neighbors, or they're dead meat. Zombies ate my neighbors. From Konami.
Complete in box, really complete in box, and this box is very
clean.
Very clean. I mean,
mucho.
You usually see like a lot of wear on the corners. This one has very little wear on the corners. And when I tell you guys that this place priced their games very, very nicely, this was priced at $125, which is exactly price charting. That I was very happy to pay because of the condition of this box. It's really great condition. The cartridge.
Oh, you even got the protector.
It's in really great condition with the DOS cover.
Yeah.
The front and the back. I think this is even in better condition than the one that I have. When we bought it at Siege. This label is like, oh my goodness.
It looks barely played. Can I see it?
Yeah, you can even. And on top of that, not only this is something that you usually find, and it's like so messed up.
Dude, right? This is like barely played.
But it came with the manual. Oh, I lost something. Came with the manual. Again, really great condition in the manual. Came with like, your safety booklet. Came with the little warning, contents are graphic and highly addictive. As soon as I saw this, I knew I was gonna buy it. Because this was just a rush to the past. Seeing this booklet right here. I remember buying this game and then seeing this, which has the whole, if you've been in this channel, you know that we freaking fanboy over inserts, and this one shows you so many cool games. Shout out to Prince of Persia, which we got recently. I mean, Buster Bros. Loose, one of my favorite games ever too. Castlevania 4, Contra 3, Turtles in Time over there, and we got Batman Returns over here. So this is just so
the Penguin, the game. We also have the this little card. Insert, but it says, turn this card into way cool Super NES games. And the name of the game I purchased, they wrote it in for you, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, the date. Like, come on, how cute is this? Right. Like, I wish I could frame all this stuff somewhere. I love it.
Right?
I think it's like, for me, it's worth the cost of admission. All that like retro advertising and I don't know.
This is, like I said, it's so cool. So cool to see in such great condition. This is probably gonna be like one of our best conditioned SNES boxes we've gotten so far, and I'm so happy that it is Zombies Ate My Neighbors, because it's a game that I love. It's a game that was lost in time, that I knew I wanted to get CIB at some point. That I'm happy that I have CIB now, because like I said, I owned it as a kid, and this kind of leads us into a segue of.
So the segue, as Javi was so kindly saying, the segue is we're starting a new series called the PnX Files. So you gotta think of play the music in your head, guys. So basically, how in the X Files they go, the truth is out there. Well,
after all the evidence, why can't you believe?
I'm afraid to believe.
We're going to be saying the game is out there. And we're going to go on a hunt for all
video games that we used to either own, rent, basically from the PS4 and the Wii U down, and they have to be complete in box. So even if we own it currently, we need to complete it. or we need to get it CAB. So this one is gonna be the first in the series. It's very well deserved to be the first one, I feel like. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
I'm happy for you.
For the Super Nintendo. It should be a fun series. It will be a bit of a start of kind of like a longer narrative in the channel, and it should kind of walk into eventually the bigger quest.
Like I want the Mary Kate and Ashley video games.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of those.
Yeah, it'll grow into a bigger quest of basically our dream collection. But there you go, guys.
Pink spot on the wall for all my girly video games.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, let us know what you thought about the arcade. And let us know what you thought about in the comments below about the video game pickup. This Zombies Ate My Neighborhood. Do you think it looks as good as I think it looks?
It looks great. They're wrong if they don't agree.
Am I fanboying too much over cardboard here or not? But definitely be in tune, because if you think this was a cool pickup, you have no idea what's about to happen next week. This week has been pretty crazy for retro game hunting for us.
Yeah, it has.
So far, 4 separate generations of video game pickups coming out in the next video. So once again, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like
and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Peace.